What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. You know who I am, and welcome to another episode of Filmstock Reviews. In this episode, I'm reviewing Space Sweepers, the big sci-fi Korean movie. This was released on Netflix February 5th, 2021, and let me tell you, it's one of the most fascinating Korean movies I've ever seen. It has a mix of Blade Runner, The Fifth Element, Guardians of the Galaxy, you name it, it has it. Even Space Invaders, the video game. This is all rolled into one, and it's friggin' phenomenal. Now, the movie is set in 2092, where Earth is uninhabitable due to certain circumstances. Now, the thing is that a corporation by the name of UTS builds a new orbiting home for humanity, but only a few are chosen that can ascend. And the CEO of UTS is played by Richard Armitage, and his character, his name is James Sullivan. He has some sort of back history, and he wants to destroy Earth for what it is, because he wants to make a new colonization and wants to actually colonate Mars. So destroy Earth, all 3 billion people, but then build a new life on Mars. But there's a catch. Something's wrong with him. He's very sick, but we don't know why he's sick. And under that, this leads into the so-called story of the Victory spaceship, which is a spaceship that collects trash in space. This movie had different languages, from Russian, French, Spanish, Korean, English, you name it, it had it. It was such a diverse movie that it was amazing to see. Now, the crew of the spaceship Victory is Tai-ho, Bubs the robot, Captain Jung, and Tiger Park. Now, each 4 of these characters are so unique on their own and have a backstory that is tremendous. Take the robot aspect away from Bubs, and Captain Jung has a story of her own, which is very interesting. And there's a connection to James Sullivan, the CEO of UTS. Tai-ho also has a connection to James Sullivan, and it's interesting to see. And Tiger Park has this huge twist to his character. So somehow, some way, all these characters are connected to the CEO of UTS. The only problem is that this crew on this spaceship Victory befriend a little girl, a robot girl evidently, by the name of Dorothy, or her name in the movie is Kotnim, and it's really interesting. She's such a cute girl in this, and the interesting thing about this is that she moves the story forward. Her, bringing the crew together and drawing things and painting things. She's a child. She just wants to play. She wants to eat, and there's a lot of action in this movie that is really, really good. The CGI is tremendously amazing and mind-blowing. You see certain things and certain aspects in this movie that remind you of movies like that are futuristic movies. And seeing a movie like this that is set in 2092, seeing how Earth is uninhabitable, okay, what is the next step? What do we do? How can we live? How can we survive? This whole aspect of things is great. The movie is 2 hours and 16 minutes long, but it's a fast-paced movie. There are times when it's slow, but there's a reason it's slow. We get a backstory about each character that is part of the spaceship Victory, and it's a really heartfelt, story-wise for each character that they have. And the interesting thing is that this is a South Korean space opera movie. It even has a feeling of Star Wars references to it too. And even at the end, when you see the spaceship fly toward the screen, it's like Back to the Future Part 3, with the ending of that, where the train is flying toward the screen. A lot of callbacks to great movies, sci-fi movies, and Korea knows how to do that. Korea knows how to make a movie, and this was tremendous. I did a reaction video to the 2 trailers that are on my YouTube page, and I've gotten a crazy amount of feedback and positivity about that, and I was very excited to see this come out, because I was waiting for it to come out. Due to the circumstances that are happening in the world now with the pandemic, this movie was pushed back many times, and then Netflix picked it up and said, hey, February 5th, 2021 is the release date. I won't be surprised if this is a big hit for South Korea, and and it could be regarded as the first South Korean space blockbuster movie. Because what movie can you think of right now that is set in space and that's a Korean movie? Because I can't. So this is a unique way of doing things, and the reason that the Spaceship Victory work together and do things is because they need to collect trash. They need to collect money to pay off debts that they have, each of them, and it just piles up and piles up and piles up, and they have nothing to do. But then once this little girl comes into their lives, all four of them change tremendously, and it shows a progression of how a story is built from the low points of your life to the high points of your life. The trajectory of story, the trajectory of directing and storytelling is one of the most incredible things I have seen in a space movie that has action, that has emotional aspects to it, drama, and even comedy. So it's really good to see a movie like this where that it's such a diverse unity of things, because they speak French, they speak Korean, it's English, it's Spanish. All these languages are put into this movie, but then all these diverse ethnic groups are also in this movie, and there is English and there is Korean, and the subtitles are there for you to watch. This movie is a very easy watch, and it's a fun watch. And there's always times when you put something on and you're doing something and it's like, oh, it's entertainment, I'm not going to watch it. No, this movie is not entertainment. This movie is badass. This movie's badass because it's actually worth watching, and it's that enjoyable. I loved it for the character arc that each character had. They developed them so well that no story arc was missed. The space scenes in space were great. The action was great. The flying spaceships were great. Even the storyline that was on Earth was even good too. You see the low points, like I said, of the characters. It even reminds you of some sort of aspect of how the people in Demolition Man lived underground. They have that to this. It just works in a way where it's so good that it's every sci-fi space American movie taken, put it in a bowl, you get Space Sweepers. That's what this is. I can't say enough about this movie because it's very, very surprising. Yeah, some people might think it's a long movie, but the aspect of being a long movie is that they know how to work things in. Like I said, there are times when you think it might slow down. No, that's not the case. This movie is go, 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 and it's perfect. So now my rating for Space Sweepers is 5 out of 5 stars. I give this movie tremendous craft for what they did, how they did it, with each character being their own unique form and way, with their own backstory, by giving us a little hint of what they were to seeing them where they are now in the movie. It's great. It's really, really done well. It's fantastic directing, fantastic cinematography, great comedy, great action, and the CGI is tremendous. Even Bubs the robot was great, and in the end something happens to Bubs which is really, really funny, and you have to see to understand it, and you will laugh like crazy. And to all my South Korean fans out there who are on my YouTube channel and who are watching this, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for giving me the love and support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. 감사합니다. I can't thank you enough. It's amazing. And be sure you check out Space Sweepers, out now on Netflix. I'll leave a link to my reaction videos to the trailers that I did for Space Sweepers in the description box below. You guys can check it out and let me know in the comment section below what you thought about this movie, Space Sweepers, and what did you think of it. Did you like it? Did you see any similarities with all the sci-fi movies and space movies that I mentioned? And what didn't you like about it? Did you think it was too long? Did you think it was just right? And do you identify with the characters? Let me know in the comment section below. And be sure you click that subscribe button and hit that notification bell for new videos on my channel. And you know where to follow Marchio Productions and me, Mr. Filmstock. I'll leave a link to all the social media accounts in the description box below. You guys can check it out and follow along. 감사합니다. I'm Anthony. Thanks for tuning in.